everybody. Hola, coaches. Hola, creative entrepreneurs of the world. We are here today. I hope you're dancing with the music. We are here today with my lovely, gorgeous left hand assistant. Right hand. I'm right hand. She's left hand. And we are here today because we are talking about a topic that you might or might not be needed, right? So outsourcing, we're talking about outsourcing. Let me tell you, first of all, when I've hired Sophia, or when we start working together back in 2018, it was like a weight has come off my shoulders, right? Up to there, I was doing everything on my own and just pulling my hair out all the time. And it was really, really stressful until I found Sophia through a recommendation from a community that I belong to. But if you are having doubts about outsourcing, this live is for you. I'm going to bring the lovely Sophia now on the stream. Hello.
Hi.
So if you have any comments or if you have any questions about outsourcing or hiring an assistant, a designer, a web designer, a virtual assistant, because Sophia has a team of people that does do that. And if you have any questions around this topic, please put them in the comments and I will respond to it live or on the replay as well. So if you're watching the replay, don't forget #replay. If you're watching live, #live, and tell us where you are tuning in from, okay? So first of all, let me introduce myself. I help coaches and creative entrepreneurs to build their group membership programs so that they can achieve a stable system, clients, and cash. Our mission is to empower coaches and creative entrepreneurs to become their own boss and build, launch, and achieve their online signature membership program. We do it all. So we are the tech brains and the design brains, and I'm a vision architect. So whatever your vision is for your programs, I'm here for you. I also want to invite you to the program that I have right now, which is the 5 Steps to 5K in 5 days intensive workshop, and that is going to help you to put together the content of your group program and just deliver it the simplest way possible. Right? I'm looking for beta testers for this program, and I'll put it on the comments. I'm looking for some beta, and it's gone into YouTube. Never mind. We'll put it on Facebook. I'm streaming in 3 places, guys, so just bear with me. But I'm looking for beta testers for the program. I want your feedback, and I want you to progress and put your group program together in 1 week, right? We're going to intensively work on it for you. Thank you so much. She's so good. So Sophia is double Sophia, guys. And Sophia is also Portuguese, like me, like myself. And actually, when I found you was like a moment of like, what the heck, like the universe is telling me something, right? But it was really good because like you have the same name as me. Well, yours is your second, is Sophia. Mine is my first.
Yeah.
You're Portuguese like me. Your clients are all English like my clients. So it was a lot of synergy, right, from the beginning. And the moment I met you in Lisbon, do you remember when we
Oh God,
got
that was so
together in
fun.
Lisbon? Right? The moment I met you in Lisbon was like, I knew you for years. and we met in 2019, right?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
been
and
2 years now.
I know, I know. But with the lockdown and all that stuff, it's been a
Yeah.
nightmare. But we will meet again face to
Yes.
face because, yeah.
Maybe
So,
this year.
Sophia,
I'm,
sorry,
I
darling?
might be going. I might be going to Lisbon this year. Maybe.
Yeah,
Fingers
well,
crossed.
just let me know. I'll just get myself on
I
the
will.
plane and I'll get there. So Sophia is the designer and creative behind imperfectcreative.com. She helps business owners create all the design assets they need to run their business. I'm going to put also a little banner so you guys can wait a minute. I've lost the banner now. I need to put my
It's
glasses
fine.
on. It's hilarious. I've lost the banner. Wait a minute. Never mind. It will come back. It will appear.
We have time.
Seriously. Yes. So we're going to talk about this outsourcing. When is the right time to do it? When is not? So for me, one of the big things for me was to let go of things to do, right? We are so protective of our things that I was like, oh no, I can't. I have outsourced before you. I have outsourced through like an agency, Upwork, I think it was, and there's other places that you can outsource, but it wasn't the same, right?
Yeah,
and I was
it's
always
different.
like scared that by letting go of control of my things, I would just lose it. And I was like, oh, so this is big for me, letting go of control. So what would you say to somebody that is having this same type of feelings?
I think I completely understand it because I run my own business, so I understand how hard it can be to let go of control. But the thing is, sometimes we trick ourselves into believing no one else can do what we're doing. And a lot of the times, even though we have a vision of what we want for our business, since we're not maybe designers or maybe we are, but it's hard to design for ourselves. I know it's hard to design for myself. So sometimes we spend so much time, and I just had a call last week with a new client about this, which is we just go down these rabbit holes where we spend hours and hours in Canva creating templates for Instagram and get nothing done. So what I try to remind people of is that it's about letting go of control, but it's also about realizing that someone else can do the same or a better job than we can in half the time. And realizing that just because you spend 10 hours creating graphics for Instagram doesn't mean you need to pay someone for 10 hours of work, because they won't take as long to create them because it's what they do every day. And I think that's a big part of realizing that you still have control at the end of the day, because you'll still have the chance to look at it and review the graphics,
Approve it, review
them.
it. That's exactly how we do things, right?
Yeah.
And that's the process. So we'll talk about your process in a minute. But I had to actually kind of like smack myself in the face, like literally smack myself in the face and say, don't be silly. You are wasting time doing the things that you don't need to do, right?
And then you don't like to do as well sometimes.
Well,
Like a lot.
some of them I really like, because creative minds, like we are, we like to kind of get lost in Canva. We like to kind of get lost in all the design, little tweaks and everything.
Yeah. But then maybe, for example, I do a lot of you do the designs for your clients' websites and then I build them. A lot of the times that first stage of getting that first design from an image to a site can be frustrating. And then you have to go in and adjust it.
That is like kind of like
a blank canvas.
architecting their vision.
Yeah.
I love that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that is the part. I love the beginning part and the end part, like
The middle
celebrating.
where it gets,
The middle is where you come in.
yeah, exactly. And I
And
actually love doing that part, the middle part. Like
yeah,
starting with a blank image is a lot, but you send me this beautiful design and then I get so excited to build it out and make it into a website. And then you make adjustments and we tweak, and that's the part that I love to do.
yeah. And
That's
I
why you
think,
need partnerships.
yes, partnership. And I'm glad you said that, because it's like I've said to you many, many times, and I'm not like, I'm really being authentic here and truthful, and it's true. It's like you read my mind, right? We know, like, okay, you're more like the coding side of things, and
Hmm.
the technical, more like in-depth technical side of things. But I know HTML, I know programming, I know that tech language that you know. So when I'm
Yeah.
designing, I'm actually thinking of you, thinking, how is she
How
going
will this work?
yeah, how is she going to put that in? And if it's possible, if it's not, just see what I mean? And
Yeah.
I try to encompass your needs and your strength, right, into the vision for my clients. See what I mean? And
Hmm.
this synergy takes time. That's what I was going to say
Yeah.
as well. This takes time because in the beginning, and we've been working since what, 2018, right?
Yeah.
And it's not, when you're working with a web designer or an assistant or somebody in your business, it's not going to happen. This
Exactly.
relationship is not going to happen just like that. It
Yeah.
builds up, because I remember that in the beginning we had difficulty, right?
We're
Not
still
difficulty.
learning each other's languages and kind of
Yes,
learning how
yes,
to match.
yeah.
And
And I think people get frustrated with that. So
yeah,
how
and
do
I
you
understand
deal?
that.
Yeah, how do you
It,
deal with that frustration? Because people can't see it. Like in the beginning, when you're trying to understand the brand and you're trying to figure out how to do the whole posting and scheduling and all that stuff, how do you deal with the frustration of the client? This is quite
yeah,
interesting.
and it's important, first of all, to set the expectation that that's going to happen. Like, it's not going to be perfect communication from the get-go, and I think that's really important for me to communicate to my clients, but also for people who are looking to delegate to understand that that is going to happen. It becomes
Mm,
a problem if you just can't find a way to communicate with that person,
mm,
but it will take some time to get there. And what I try to remind people is I can't read your mind, even though you feel like I can. So, yeah,
yeah.
I can't read your mind, and I don't know your business as well as you do. So you kind of need to explain to me everything like
Mm,
I'm a little baby that has no idea what's going on,
yeah.
because that's where we start.
Yeah.
And then together we can build processes that work for both of us. Because sometimes the way that we do things for our businesses when we're doing them alone is the way that it works for us. But when we bring someone in to the business, we need to create a new workflow that will work
For
for
both
both of us
parties, right?
and will allow for that communication of revisions and making adjustments to images and that kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah.
important to take the time for it. And sometimes it can feel like a waste of time. Like if you're doing posts for Instagram, for example, and you just create an image, add a caption, and post it, it can
Mm,
feel like a waste of time to have someone create the content, the images for you, and then you go in and add the content, and then you send it to revision, and then they schedule it. But at the end of the day, the time that you're going to save for not having to do that part of the image creation, that
true.
is worth it, even if
Yeah.
it means that you need to change your workflow a bit at the start.
So
So
I've
it's,
been so I've been working with coaches for a long, long time, and when I say creative coaches too, right?
Yeah.
They love to create. They love to do
Mm.
it. They love to understand how it all works, right? So this is a battle for me as well, and it's really good that you talked about expectations and be
Mm-hmm.
patient and kind of like listening to what they want. But then I do understand that what they tell me all the time is, I just want to coach, right?
Yeah.
So one particular client that I've been working for a long, long time. We started as she wanted to do everything, right? So
Yeah.
little by little, I started to talk to her and say that, you have to let go. You have to allow me to understand your brand, to understand your business, and let me do it, because then it will give you so much more time to do the coaching, to do all the work that you need to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
And also it's when someone, especially with coaches, I find that this happens a lot of the times, which is they have an idea of what they want, for example, a landing page to look like, but sometimes it takes some courage to take a step back and allow the designers and creatives like us to say, okay, I understand that you want it to be bright red or bright pink or whatever, but
mm,
for your audience, maybe it makes sense to change it up a little bit.
yeah,
And making those adjustments can feel really hard because your business is your baby and you want it to be yours. But at the end of the day, it isn't about you, the coach. It's about the people that you are coaching. And we
exactly.
all need to remember that as business
Yeah,
owners, that
yeah,
it's not really about us. It's about our clients.
yeah. And that's all part of the building the relationship and having that openness to
Yeah.
kind of allow for lots of times that we've discussed it, right? I send
Hmm.
you a message, or I send you an email and say what you think about this, right? I'm thinking about this. I want this to look like this, and this. But is that viable, right? Is it going to
Hmm.
work? And a lot of times you turn around to me and say, not really, because of this and this and this. And then there's a
Yeah.
discussion, and also there's like that idea that I wasn't thinking, right?
Yeah.
So
And
allow for that.
compromising as well, because
Yeah, yeah.
when you have someone to bounce ideas off of and kind of
Oh
talk about
my
these
God.
things, you understand things that maybe you can't see on your own, and then you get to adjust your vision without losing it.
Yeah. And that's what I love. That's why I love working with you, right? Because it's bouncing ideas. You got a meeting every month.
Hmm.
You listen to what I say. You listen to the things that I'm working on, what I want to promote for the month, and you kind of like then discuss it with me openly, like not just like a hired force, but as a
Yeah.
friend, you know because we built that relationship, and this takes time. Now, knowledge about the industry of the client is beneficial to know, so that it would be easier to recommend ideas or suggestions for the client. What would you say to somebody if they would ask you if you're working in similar projects, if you are unfamiliar with the goals of the prospect? What is your kind of like research process?
Yeah. So it really depends because there's some areas where I have some experience on. I work with a lot of coaches and other designers. So around those areas, I kind of already know what's going on. But I think that the best way, and I do this with all my clients in the first call, is sit down for a good half an hour and just tell me about your brand. Tell me about your clients. Who are they? Why do you love working with them? What are their challenges? What do they tell you that they need? Not necessarily what you say you offer.
Yeah.
And it helps understanding the brand specifically because even with coaches, there's a lot of variety. and everyone works differently. So it's really about you as a client being able to communicate to that person who's going to step in and take over a few aspects of your brand what you are actually offering, what your values are, and what you're trying to bring into the world. And I'll be perfectly honest that I don't work with everyone. There are people who reach out and
Yeah.
I just don't feel aligned with their brands, and I'm like, not the right person for me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll recommend them to someone else that I know. Maybe I'll just send them to a group that I know has lots of other people who can help.
Yeah.
But it's
And that setting
important.
boundaries is important, right?
Yeah,
Because sometimes we have to go with that gut feeling that that future relationship is probably not going to go the way we want to go.
and also
Um,
it's good for them because I don't think that you don't really want to build a relationship with a designer that doesn't believe in your product
yeah,
because they can't really sell something that they don't believe in.
yeah. So in that first call, you kind of like figure out that what's their vision, right? What they
Yeah,
really want and what they're looking for, who they work with. That's really
and
good.
why they're doing it as well.
Hmm.
You can have
Can you
two
hear the
people.
wind?
I can't actually. It's not
You can't.
reaching me yet.
It's okay. It's really sunny, but it's a little bit windy.
Hmm.
So I was going to ask you, what type of recommendations would you give to somebody that wants to outsource their services? Let me see if
Well,
there's any
I
comments.
think the first one, the most important recommendation I would give is don't wait until you're overwhelmed and feel like you're drowning in it to outsource because it's going to make the whole process a lot more difficult because you won't have the time to build that relationship with the people that
Mm,
you're working with or
mm,
to even reply to emails. If you're
yeah.
too overwhelmed to answer your clients' emails, you're not going to really want another person on your inbox asking you questions. So,
And if I can just cut you off there, like
mhm,
if you're too overwhelmed, just stop, right? If you are watching
yeah,
this video and you're thinking, oh my God, I really don't know where to go to outsource, where to go to hire somebody,
stop
or,
everything.
whatever you want, just stop, right? And breathe.
Take a day off,
Take the day off,
breathe,
breathe.
don't work for a while. Maybe don't stop posting to every single social media platform for a week or two. You don't need to do all those things right now. You just need to narrow it down. What's more important? What do I need to have right now to keep my business going? And then you can start expanding again.
And it's so true, right? I had people turning around to me and say, when do you sleep, Sophia? It was hilarious. It was like I was all over the place, very, very active, in groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Instagram. I was in Pinterest, right? I was in Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook in general, everywhere. I was everywhere, right? The problem was, and I wasn't realizing at the time, that my message was being really diluted because that
Hmm.
need of being everywhere and helping everybody, and I was helping everybody like for free as well, like lots and lots of time, right? Just giving out information and helping, serving. Whilst serving is good, you really need to know that you're running a business, and
Yeah.
therefore you need to make a profit, right? So you need to get money for your services.
Yeah.
You,
And I think
if you,
I
yeah,
think that's a problem with our industry in general also. Like we hear this so many times in a million social media posts. Oh, you need to
yes,
offer value and give things out for free. And we forget that that's all true and nice. And I agree. But you need to charge for your services and you need to make money because if you're not making money, you're not running a business.
and also, as we're on that topic, I believe that every single strategy needs to come from the business, right?
Yeah.
And also about the gurus out there. I mean, there's millions of ways of launching. There's millions of ways of putting your group programs out there. You don't even need a website to put your group program out there. And that's what I'm going to do in the 555 intensive, right? I'm going to show you exactly that you don't need a website right now. You can start right now. It's the right time, right? Businesses are moving online so much, right? And then there is not like a webinar launch strategy. There is hundreds of ways of doing it, right? Email marketing strategies. So as far as I'm concerned, I think we need to do the strategy that feels good for us and just keep moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Keep moving forward, progressing. And there will be times that you're going to dip. There'll be times that you're going to trip and fail and it's not going to work. And I've been there, got a t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
But don't stop yourself from trying. Don't stop yourself from trying again and again and again, right?
Yeah. And there isn't like a right way to run your business. Different ways work for different people. And maybe you haven't found your ideal way yet. That's fine. You can try something else. Try something for 3 months, maybe. 1 month might be a short period of time to try something. Try something for a trimester. It doesn't work. Try something else in the next 3. Life keeps moving on.
Yeah, and another feeling that a lot of people have when they're overwhelmed is because they're stuck in the how to do something, right? And I wrote a blog post this week, actually. It's going to come out on Thursday, tomorrow, about this. You're so fixated in how to do something that you're not moving forward because you're stuck. Right? Because you're trying to find solutions for the how to do stuff. And also you're bombarded with so much information out there. If I want to go and plant some herbs in the garden, I'll go to YouTube and find out how to do it, right? So what I'm saying is that there's so much information, and this amount of information as well is not good for people because they are making them even more overwhelmed and frustrated and at the brink of giving up. Don't.
No,
don't give up. You need to reach out to somebody that can help you, right?
Yeah. And sometimes as creative entrepreneurs, and even if you're not very technical, like building websites, launching a webinar, doing all these things can feel really overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. This is where Sophia and I can help you in different ways, which is you don't need to worry about the tech stuff. Hire someone that gets the tech stuff to focus on that. Trust their recommendation when they tell you, like, I don't know, use ActiveCampaign for your mailing list. And you've heard, oh, I've heard that MailChimp is better. Trust them because they know what they're talking about. They have worked with probably 20 of these platforms and tried every single one of them and moved platforms 50 times.
Trial and error. We've moved forward through trial. Oh my God, I've tried so many systems, so many softwares, so many tools, so many resources. I've tried a lot, right? Social media scheduling tools, all sorts of things, right?
To-do list tools, webinar management tools. We've done all of them. If you name one, we've probably tried it.
Yeah. And also you don't need to focus on this. You don't need to think about how is the webinar going to be delivered? How am I going to do a video, for example, right? whatever. You don't
Yeah,
need which
you need to
email
focus on
provider shall I use and stuff like
exactly.
that. You don't need to think about that.
Focus on the things that only you can do. Focus on writing that email, writing what you're going to talk about in that webinar, writing what you're going to offer your group every month. Focus on that and let someone else worry about how to deliver it.
Definitely. Right?
Yeah.
Let me just check if there's any questions. No questions for now.
No question.
So, also, so another thing that I've came across is the fact that when people come to me, they've already been through an experience with a web designer or somebody, a virtual assistant, or somebody that was trying to help them with a tech malarkey. But they had a bad experience. So what I'm going to tell you right now is, like, you that you're listening and you've been through this experience, don't let that define you, right? And continue your search to find the right person to work with, right? Just because this situation, this event happened to you, it does not have to happen again, right? But like, people get really, like, how do you say it? They move back a bit. So what I find is that
they get more guarded almost. They don't trust. They've had their trust broken, and that makes it harder for them to share the information that they need to share for someone to be able to work with them, to trust that when someone recommends a certain platform, that's the right recommendation. Because, and I get it, they've been burned before. I completely understand that.
I mean, this is their assets, right?
Yeah.
This is the assets, their content for the website, all the services and programs. If somebody has been through the experience that they've copied their content and they've put it out there, for example, we have, and I say this to everybody, when somebody works with me, there's a confidentiality paragraph on the agreement, right? And all the graphics and all the stuff that we create, it's 100% ownership of the client.
Yes.
We move all that to the client, right? But people don't know this, right? They don't really know what questions to ask when they outsourcing and hiring somebody.
Yeah.
And then they get into this situation.
Yeah, I think a few of the questions that you really need to ask, especially when working with designers, is, will I have access to the original material? Do I have copyright right over the material that you're delivering to me?
Yeah.
And even if you're not technical, and for example, you're designing a logo for someone, you're having someone design your logo, and make sure that they are going to deliver you the Illustrator files, the raw files for that. Because even if you don't have any idea how to use them, if anytime in the future you need to adjust your logo or have someone else use it, these files are vital, or someone's going to have to basically redo your logo again. So even if you don't understand what those files do, make sure that you have them. That's really vital.
And I mean, if you don't know the questions to ask when you're hiring, ask some of your peers, right? Some other coaches that already been doing it for many years, and ask them, how did they hire somebody? And the majority of the client acquisition that I have, it's through recommendations, right? So other coaches are doing something and they recommend me, and I've recommended work to you as well. And, contact Sophia on imperfectcreative.com and tell Sophia that you know me, because she'll give you a special deal. But yeah, just lean on help, lean on your peer group, right? Because they've been doing it, they know people that know people that know people, right? Or even if you belong to groups on Facebook, just ask the question, right? I'm thinking of hiring. What kind of questions shall I ask, right?
Exactly.
For this and this. Yeah, it's just, there's so many ways that somebody can just get unstuck and receive that help.
And be specific when asking those questions. Don't just say, I want to hire help. What should I ask? Tell people what you need help with. You'll get probably a dozen people offering their services, but ask people, what should I ask if I need help designing a logo? What should I ask if I want to build a new site? What should I ask if I'm going to have someone take over my social media? Having those questions in a little box for you to ask people is really great. And if you get on a call with someone that isn't comfortable asking those questions, then they're probably just not the right person to work with you.
Or they might not be ready, or they might be that they have been through that experience, bad experience previously, and they are not comfortable in trusting again. But it's just that takes time. And believe me, like letting go and trusting and organizing and coming out of the overwhelm, this is like gold.
It will take work, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I always tell my new clients, like, I'm going to be a pain in the ass the first few weeks because I'm going to ask a million questions and send you about a dozen emails or messages and ask a bunch of questions.
Yes.
But if I'm not asking questions, that I can't deliver good work. And I understand how annoying it can be, all the questions, but they're worth it. I promise you.
You know what? I prefer that you ask me all the questions, right? Because that's what I said to my kids as well, and to everybody. It costs nothing to ask a question, and then you're clear in what I want.
Exactly.
Right? And it's the same thing. I said to my kids, just ask the questions. When you're in school, just ask these questions. It's a mindset, though.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Because it's a state of mind. People that don't ask questions. I'm a questioner. I ask any stupid question. I don't care. There is no stupid questions, right?
There is not.
There's just questions. But if I have an objection and if I need clarity on what I'm going to do, I will ask the question, right? But I understand that some people might not. They interiorize and they think, oh, if I'm going to ask the question, I'm going to look stupid. I'm not going to look clever. I'm not going to look smart. What are people going to judge me and think about me and whatever, right? And that's what I said is a mindset kind of.
And then there's the other side of that, which is be okay with answering questions, even if you think they're stupid, even if you think like, oh, but I have that on my website. Answer the questions, because if someone is asking, it's because maybe what you have on your website might not make sense to them. Maybe it's not that clear. Maybe you send them your work with me page and they still have questions about your product and your coaching services, then maybe that's not just an opportunity for you to explain to the person that you're going to be working with how you work, but also maybe it's something for you to keep in the back of your mind. Oh, maybe I need to rewrite that. Maybe I need to explain better what I am doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's true. And sometimes you see things that you haven't seen before, right? Because somebody's asked that question. Yes, definitely. I totally agree. So good. This is good. So guys, let me just check where I've put that banner for Sophia. But if I don't, then I will put it in the
Oh,
comments later on. But
yeah.
if you have any questions whatsoever in regards to hiring web designer, an assistant,
Hmm.
a virtual
Outsourcing of any
assistant, yeah,
kind.
and it's all your tech struggles and
Stuff.
challenges.
Yeah.
Please let us know in the comments. We'll monitor it and we'll reply to it
Hmm.
later on.
And
But this was amazing.
yeah, I want to leave maybe for the people who are going to be watching this or are watching right now, maybe take a few minutes today and like sit down with a piece of paper and two columns and write down these are the things that I do on my business every day, week, month that I love to do. These are the things that I would love to outsource. And then figure out if you can do that. Like, what would it take for me to outsource blog writing? But I do
Oh my
love
God,
doing
that's
live.
great. Two,
I do
um,
love doing
two
live
columns.
videos. I love doing live videos. I don't like to write blogs. Well, maybe you can hire someone to take your lives and turn them into blog posts.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Oh, that's a
possible.
great idea. I love that action plan, right? So, two columns. One, stuff I
I love
hate.
this. Yeah,
Oh,
stuff
okay.
I hate, stuff
Yeah.
I love.
Yes. Stuff I hate and stuff I love, or vice versa, whatever, depending on
Yeah.
the your brain. But
And then
I
outsource
prefer
it.
to focus on like what I hate. What do I hate to do? And
Yeah.
and this was actually a question that I asked myself. It's like I can't waste any more time because I want to focus on the things that I love. So what do I hate? What do I hate to do? Right. And I start list them.
And
So two
some of those will
columns.
be some of those will be things you're gonna wanna outsource.
Yeah.
Some of those might be things you don't actually need to be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need to be on LinkedIn if you hate it that much. Maybe
Yeah.
you
True.
don't need to show up on Pinterest if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need a newsletter. Maybe
Yeah.
you can just do blogs and have someone send the newsletter out.
Yeah. And if there is something like, for example, you're in too many Facebook groups, for example, you're in too many Facebook
Just
groups,
get out of
and it's
them.
getting too overwhelming. It's getting under your skin right now. Just get out. Just get
Mhm.
out. Take a break, like we said,
Yeah.
right? Take a break. Pause, breathe, and take and
Something
just
that I something that I do with Facebook groups and particularly every month is I will start going through my feed and looking at posts. And if I see a post that I'm like, I don't really want to see these kinds of posts in my feed, and it's from a group, I'll just leave that group.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
then I don't have to see that anymore.
mm-hmm. And now, well, now for about a year, actually, Facebook has changed the way we are invited into groups.
Thank
We're invited
God.
into groups, but we have to actually accept it. We've got like 30 days to accept it, right? But while we accept it or not, we
We
can
get to
see
see.
the interaction in the group. We can see if actually that group it's a good fit for you, right?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that because I get invitations for groups all the freaking time,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, really? Okay,
Another
let me
one.
check. Yeah, another one. But I do check because ever so often that do some groups appear that are really, really good.
Yeah.
So some of them, I just go in, have a feel for it. Gut instinct tells me, nah, not really the right group. Sorry. If the owner of that group has contacted me personally, I actually send the owner a message and say,
Yeah.
sorry, this group is not for me. But I thank
Thanks.
you for sending me an invitation, or for thinking about me. For some reason, they thought maybe that was a good fit for me. So,
Yeah.
but it's only up to each individual to decide if it is or it is not. And what Facebook did was actually amazing, right? Because now
Yeah.
you've got the
Thank
opportunity to
God.
go and check before you say yay or nay.
Yeah.
So we've been talking for a long time. We could stay here
We
forever,
always talk for
right?
so long.
I just love it. There was some other questions, but I think we talked so much about everything.
Yeah.
And again,
I want to
trust your
see. I want
instincts.
to see those lists of things people hate to do on their business. I want to see
Yes,
it.
I know, guys. If you're watching this, make a list in the comments down below. Make a list. Things I hate to do in my business and things I love to do in my business, right? And just leave them in the comments. We'll come and have a look. But
Yeah.
and we can put a little prompt in the comments as well to remind them.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, thanks so much, Sophia, for coming over and talking to me. It's always a
Always a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is really nice to see you live and to talk to you about this issue. This, because we need to educate people, and that's just the way it is. We need to educate them. So, thank you. And for everybody that is live or on a replay, again, if you have any questions, let us know. And I still can't find your banner, Sophia. Sorry.
It's fine. Go
Let us
check
know.
out 5K workshop. It's amazing. I should know. I've been watching you
Yeah.
build it. So
Sophia's website is imperfectcreative.com.
I'll leave a link in the
Easy. Imperfectcreative.com. Imperfectcreative.com. I mean, come on. It's so easy. If you're listening, that's the link. So if you want somebody to design and reflect your business brand authentically, contact Sophia in imperfectcreative.com. Okay. Thanks for watching and thanks for coming in, Sophia. And I'll see you all very soon.
Bye.
Bye.